This is probably one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen, but it is also so brilliant and so funny. And it just exemplifies the magic of the internet and gamers when they put their minds to something. A GTA 6 fan has gone full noir detective to discover a random NPC's sunscreen SPF in the most informatively unhinged way. So, yeah, it is exactly what it sounds like. It's exactly what it sounds like. In a thread on the game's subreddit, they simply ask what SPF sunscreen is being used in the GTA 6 trailer, in in-depth analysis. And so this guy went through all of this research, analyzing skin tones, what SPF would be most likely to use for that skin tone. He calculated based on the angle of shadows in that area of the world, what would be the most likely angle of the sun. And then using that data, he can calculate the potential UV impact of that. He also adjusted it depending on the equinox and the likely time of year. And like, you can also look at the amount of people on the beach and infer that it's probably not during the cold months. It's probably during the warm months. And after all of this, so what does this tell us? Well, since it's only possible for our NPC to be exposed to 2 or less hours of UV radiation, and our NPC has a dark skin tone, the sunscreen SPF being used in the GTA 6 trailer is 8 to 14 SPF. Is that not just the most unhinged, ridiculous thing ever? Is that not just crazy? Like, why did he feel this necessary? I don't know. It's just one of those things I love about like Reddit, and then also about fans of these games, is they'll just ask themselves a question, like watching the trailer, I wonder what sunscreen they're using, and then just figure it out. Now, granted, the developers and the designers have no idea. They didn't put this together and like consider, okay, well, what sunscreen should we use for this? They don't care. It's just a can, you spray it on, it's sunscreen, woo, that's it. But it's damn cool that they actually kind of figured it out and came to some sort of answer. Wolfman, I agree. Imagine what he would, imagine he would use the skill for something important. I mean, this is what's kind of outrageous. It makes you wonder, like, okay, if this is what just some guy does with his spare time, imagine what people that like are really specialized and good at this type of like investigation, what they do if they do this for a living. You know, if they work for the FBI or if they work for like some bureau of investigation in a certain state, this is the level of stuff that they can get into. It's just outrageous. Like, I remember there was some story years ago where like a guy had, I think, kidnapped someone. Or no, actually, probably the better example would be, this is a throwback. This is a throwback. I'll tell you what. Do you guys remember back in like 2016? There was a whole thing that happened where Shia LaBeouf, the actor from like the original Transformer movie, right? He went on this whole thing where he did the "He will not divide us" thing, right? After I think it was after Trump was elected, or maybe just before. It was something like that. Around that time, he did a "He will not divide us" thing where he had a webcam set up, I think in New York City, and he just stood in front of it and said over and over and over and over again, "He will not divide us. He will not divide us. He will not divide," and just did that forever. And then people started showing up and chanting it as well, and it was like an art piece or something. One of the things he did after that was that he went and got a webcam, set it up looking at a flagpole, and then he put a flag on the flagpole that just simply read, "He will not divide us." Okay, really simple. You know what these people did? They analyzed the weather patterns. They analyzed when a plane flew through the frame, comparing that with the shadows being cast, the time of day when that live stream occurred. And they did some ridiculous math, finding flights in that area and all sorts of craziness. And apparently they were able to figure it out and go and take the flag down and stole it. Like, How on earth you do that? I have no idea. You're looking at a webcam video of a flag pointed to the sky, and they're able to figure out precisely where in the US it is, because most likely it was in the US, right? Like it was not realistically going to be in like China or something, but like it's outrageous. It's outrageous. But this is like the power of when a group of people put their minds to something and they just kind of figure it out. They just kind of figure it out. And with this, like they managed to do just that, where they were able to look at a really stupid thing in a trailer for GTA 6 and just ask, I wonder what kind of SPF is most likely to be used. I mean, you could have just kind of guessed and been like, probably like this SPF, because darker skin, you use this kind, and it's in Florida, it's a white bottle, so it's probably this mineral sunscreen from Sunbum or whatever it is. And you could probably take a educated guess and probably get it right enough that people are like, sure, whatever. But he goes and analyzes the UV radiation, the parallax of the earth combined with the equinox, like all this crazy stuff to figure out what most likely is happening depending on the UV radiation that's coming in. And it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I love it. I love it. So what you're going to do with that information, now that I've told you, I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe send this video to a friend, share it with someone, and they can do something with that information. I don't know. But there you go. There you go. Somebody figured out what SPF they're using in the GTA 6 trailer. That's all.
He took my thing.